On the eve of India's Independence Day, a beautiful message from Mr. Piyush Ved Prakash Goyal, Honorable Cabinet Minister of the Government of India.
Friends, I'm indeed delighted to be a part of this historic event when you are celebrating India's 75th Independence Day. It's truly a matter of great joy for all of us in India that the Federation of Indian Associations, especially of the northeastern states of the United States of America, New England, New York, and New Jersey, and so many others, are organizing the world's largest and most historic International India Day Parade in the United States. My gratitude to the Governor of Massachusetts State, Mr. Charlie Baker, for proclaiming to celebrate 15th August as India Day in Massachusetts State.
For more information, reach Abhishek Singh, President of Federation of Indian Association, New England, at president@fianewengland.org.
Namaste and welcome. Today it's my pleasure to introduce the members of the Federation of Indian Association New England chapter. The members, Rakesh Kavsari ji, who is the secretary, along with Sandeep Asija ji and Raj Gupta ji and Dr. Rajul Gupta, who are volunteers for this organization, are coming together to put up a fabulous, never before seen event to celebrate the 75th anniversary of India's independence. All our audience here is really invited to come and be part of this mega event, which is happening by the Charles River. So I'm going to turn it over here to Rakesh Kavsari ji. Tell us more about this event. When is it happening? Where is it happening? And what is it all about?
Namaste all. Thank you so much, Ranjana ji, for giving the opportunity to talk about the great event which never ever happened in the history. So Federation of Indian Association New England point of view, this is one of the greatest event which never ever happened. So we are doing this at two places. One is at the Boston Harbor and one is at the Rhode Island White House. It's a state house. We call it a White House because it's a replica of the same. And yeah, this event is like never ever happened. Why I'm mentioning this again and again is like the parade which we are arranging with 130 plus veterans and 50 charitable organizations, and at the same time 32 different countries representation is there with us, and at the same time there are many other things which Rajbhai is going to cover, but at the same time we are the real true son of India. Why I'm telling this is like we are representing, in spite of out of India, we are representing India as a great all the time. India is like great, and celebrating 75th Independence Day here in Boston. This is the revolution which started the before independence. So for like where the Britishers were ruled in US. So the Boston Tea Party, that is the event, and that is what the main reason to select that the Boston Harbor, where the Independence Day is going to celebrate. Yeah.
So this is very
and
important.
Many more delegates are coming for this event, and especially we want to give a message that we are celebrating this to give a great message to our next generations that this is how we need to celebrate. And at the same time, we do all the time the charitable things. We are preferring that whatever the dharma we learned in our homeland, that is what the dharma we want to teach to the entire world, and that is what we are doing here, and making sure that all the veterans, old age homes, charitable trusts, we put every time there as a first, because they are the first preferences for us, and that is what we are trying to teach to our next generations.
Right. I think this is really wonderful. So what I hear is that the focus of the event is multidimensional, that you want to showcase the culture of India. You want to show that both India and America are very similar for the independence struggle that happened here and the independence struggle that happened in India led to the creation of two very strong democracies. And I think that's a very, very fabulous thing to say. And that's why I think it's very poignant that you picked the Boston Harbor, where the Boston Tea Party, where the first War of Independence, I would say, or the first revolution from the British started. And of course, that went all over, and led to the biggest revolutions against the colonies that happened in India to lead to the wonderful movement of independence. And I hear that it's a very, very complicated event that you're putting together. But before that, I did want to ask you, you have a lot of other countries who are participating in this event. What was the motivation for that? And how did you convince them to be part of this event?
That's what. So that is one of the greatest thing where we explained them what exactly we are doing, how exactly we are doing. Our organization did lot of things to the adopting the highways, and at the same time distributing the food, and in the COVID almost like 3 millions of masks, and supporting the organizations, supporting the hospital management. So that's how our organization does all the time. So when we mention this thing, they were happily coming. They were happily coming, and they want to participate with a huge crowd and huge teams. And the different countries, they are really happy to represent themselves in the Independence Day, what we are celebrating. And at the same time, governors, senators, congressmen, they are also really impressed that what exactly we are doing from the organization, what message we are trying to give to the Indo-American societies. And at the same time, the flag, what we are going to fly, that would be representing the US as well as the Indian. We are in US, but it does not mean that we respect each and every country, and at the same time we respect our country. So we just want to make sure that people, wherever they are staying, they should respect and they should move forward and they should give a great message to the society.
Fantastic. And I think that's what I was really amazed to hear that you're going to fly a 200 feet long flag.
290.
Yeah, over the over the Charles. And so Raji, could you tell me about the logistics of this event and how it's going to happen? I mean, a parade, flag flying. Tell me more about that.
Yes, this is the first time in the history of Boston we are doing a Independence Parade in Boston at the Charles River, at the bank of the Charles River. And we're going to have a lot of floats, a big flag, in the sky, and a lot of other flags, especially the US and Indian flags, together with the 32 countries, people from 32 countries representing and joining this celebration.
Wow.
We celebrating this Independence Day in Boston of India. It creates a tie. It shows a tie between India and US, especially because both countries believe in democracy. One of the biggest democracy and one is the oldest democracy in the world. And it's create a bond and showing that we both countries love the peace, love the democracy, and love the community.
Right. Beautiful, beautiful. I think, Raji, is that true that there is going to be a freedom gallery where all the freedom fighters from both the countries are going to be represented? Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, especially we always respect our veterans, even the US and India. And the whole thing about respecting our veterans and the soldiers is just showing our gratitude towards them, that even if they retire, but it's not forgotten. Sure. It's not like, and in this way we create a bond, with the community, especially like FIA New England. We did food banks, we did share pain and pleasure with the 9/11 victims, especially when the victims in Afghanistan, when we lost a lot of US soldiers. So in that way, we are sharing pain and pleasure.
Yeah, absolutely. We are quintessentially Indian American, and we celebrate both countries very, very, equally and strongly. We are proud of both our karma bhumi and our dharma bhumi. So I think that is a very, very valuable thing. Now, Dr. Rajan Gupta, you have been part of creating so many magical events in the Boston area, in your own home even. How do you see this particular event as different from anything that you have seen?
So, as we all are, as we all know, PM Modi said this is Azadi Ka Mahotsav, right? So, nation first and always first. So, this event actually not only means celebrating the 75th anniversary of our independence, it also means celebrating our glorious culture, our glorious heritage, our achievements over the last 75 years. Like, where India has made its mark in the whole world. We are academically, financially, economically, we are one of the strongest nations in the world. We are on the top notch. And we Indians who are living in America, I think we have a responsibility that we carry when we are representing India here, that, we have to bring both the nations together, both the nations, in a nice way. So I think that's what this whole event means to me. I think this is how I look at it, that, we are kids here. So, to bring both the cultures together, to bring both the countries' greatness together.
Beautiful, Dr. Gupta. I think you said it exactly right. Two great, wonderful countries, and both are deeply ingrained in our hearts. So I think that is a beautiful thing that you are trying to really bring forth in this event, and I think that's fantastic. I now want to turn it over to you, Sandeep Asija ji. You actually have lived in this community for a very long time, and now you are seeing this, I would say, young organization that is coming up. Could you tell us about how you got involved in this organization as a mentor, I hear, and how you feel this organization is going about doing very, very interesting things?
Yeah, mentor will be overstated, but I would say that. But first of all, I thank you for bringing FIA to your desk, and it's been an honor to talk to you, and it's been an honor for me also to be part of this association, which is unique and extraordinary in a lot of ways. I obviously I've been living like many of you for 3 decades in Boston area, and I've been involved in association and volunteer work, and I've been involved with community a lot like you, and obviously I can't match you and your husband. You have been absolutely diamond, for community. But focusing on FIA. I think this is a very powerful group. You have to go on the grassroots of this organization. They are all volunteers, very educated people, hundreds of volunteers. Some of the volunteers are not here. Abhishek, Sanjay, Mukta. I mean, I can go on, and so there's like a lot of volunteers in this association who are, involved without any return. They're and it's not like them, it's like their entire family. So once let's say Abhishek is involved, Jyoti, his wife's involved, if Mukta is involved, her husband Chandan is involved, so they are like a family, and there's a different type of energy we have. I think last time I saw this energy, if you remember also, we saw this energy with Deshpande Thai Boston, and that was a very powerful association we had, a very powerful organization we had, which brought a lot of success stories. So these people are creating a lot of success stories. I mean, I can go on, but let's take a couple of months ago, we went to Washington, D.C., the Nerve Center. We met 21 congressmen, elected congressmen, a representative of the House, senators, and the synergy they brought for Indian and U.S. Efforts going on, that was tremendous, unspeakable. It was wonderful to attend that. It was fortunate for me to be part of that. At the time when Indian government is struggling, how to present themselves in Ukraine and Russia war, because there's a lot of push for United States and Western countries to have India on their board. So that gap, this association filled up. We reminded the Nerve Center the U.S. Congress and the senators that we exist in support of U.S. Interest as well as Indian interest. That was a powerful statement we did, and we had the similar event over there. So these are the type of events they hold, and these are the type of energy they create, all positive energy. You know, you pick up any event and it'll be all positive. 2,200 feet of flag. Who does that? And 32 countries involved on Independence Day over one country. Who does that? And picking up our Tea Party place and starting the event from there. I mean, that's just a extraordinary thing for us. So I can go on, but you know, just to give one example, you know, tomorrow, one of their volunteers, who is president of the association also, Abhishek, he's going in early in the morning. He's waking up around 6 o'clock. He's going to meet a governor of a state, elected governor of a state of a Democrat party. Then he's running around meeting a lot of other individuals. And then he's meeting another governor of a state, Republican party. So, you know, this association works across the party line, across the, you know, international lines. They work with a lot of diverse people, diverse politicians. The only interest this organization has how to make Indo-US ties stronger, and they are very creative. They are very, very creative.
I see that. I have attended some of your events, and I think it has been quite unique, and definitely this upcoming event, I think, is spectacular. So, Rakeshji, could you tell us, like, how does this? I know there are a lot of organizations that are, you know, working with this mission of bringing India and US together. How do you think FIA is different in that way?
Thank you so much for asking the great question, Anuji. So yeah, let me answer this. So we work for the uniqueness, and we work for the helping the people first of all, and in any of the troubles, like for example in the COVID, like we went to all the New England hospitals to help the people.
Right.
And at the same time, we collected like $55 million and sent the equipment in the peak COVID to India. We took a lot of permissions. We took a lot of things. It never happened in the history, and it never happened from any of the organizations in the United States, in 52 states and 7 time zones. If you take, no one did this kind of things. And we are working like 24/7, 365 days. Any kind of help, anyone reaches for us. If anyone expired here, we help them. Yeah. Anyone might have an accident, we help them. So this is what like we are doing for the different from the other organizations. And at the same time, like our organization is very unique because we pick the places, we pick the events where exactly the main reason is there. Like for example, now for the 75th Independence Day, we took the Boston Tea Party where the revolution started. In the same way as Sanjit also just now mentioned that many events we did in the past, like in the peak COVID, we did a visa camp where like more than 1,800 people with free of cost, they can come and do their passport renewals. They can come and do their visa extensions. They can come and do the OCI cards. You'll not believe everyone was praying like this, and it was really free. We all were in place in the peak COVID. We organized the camp. We asked the consulate to come to the Boston.
Right.
Entire team came. 2 days we were working. So this is really different, where no other organizations in the United States is doing such kind of things.
So I think what you're saying is that you have several pillars. One is that you're trying to bring politically the Indian and US governments together. You're trying to convey the right message. Very involved in charitable events, which are very, very significant. And whether it is due to support the veterans, due to support the COVID victims, or other kind of services that Indian Americans might require, whether that's a visa camp, those kinds of services. So I see a lot of holistic approach to both supporting India and the US in what you do. And that is indeed very unique. It's not focused on one or other particular event, but really a holistic support of both communities. And that is really, really very, very impressive. And I'm going to ask at this point very quickly, and you can please tell me, what would you like in 30 seconds or less? What would you like for people to take away from this event? By the way, which is how, can you tell the exact date and time of this? I'm going to turn this over to you, Rakesh ji, to clearly tell us in 30 seconds, what do you hope to accomplish from this event?
Sure. But before that, I just want to add one quick thing, because last year when we did the Independence Day at the State House, the governor was asking us like, what exactly we can do in the education system. So we gave a suggestion that why can't we run any summer camp for the full time for the school? And he implemented that in one of the school, and it never happened. All the school administration, all the principals, teachers, entire summer, they taught the students. So it never happened in the history. So they are going to come and we are going to recognize it.
Wonderful.
And coming to your question.
Yes. First of all,
yeah.
the date and time for the event, please.
Yes, absolutely. So date is 13th, Saturday. So the parade is going to start at 10 a.m. to 12. And from there, anyways, in between 11 o'clock to again 3 o'clock, the flag will be flying in the air.
Yeah.
290 feet. It's a khadi. We just want to represent our India. So it's a khadi flag. So 10 to 12, and you can say that 10 to 3. So it just divided into a couple of events in that, but it's 10 to 3 on 13th. And on 14th, historically, we are lighting the entire State House with the tricolor and like
in Rhode
again,
Island.
the flag in the
14th,
Rhode Island.
in
Yes.
Rhode Island. Yes.
14th is Rhode Island and 30th is in the Boston.
Fantastic. So what would you like people to take away from this event?
Yep. So see, the most important thing is we are giving the first preference to the wetness. We are giving first preference to the charitable organizations. So that is what the message, whatever the event you do, you just give the support to these guys. And the second thing is you need to give a message to the next generations, younger generations, that yes, this is how we can celebrate wherever you are in the world, that how exactly Indians, where they grow with respect to Dharma. First basic thing is help people all the time, no matter what, in any situation. So that is what the next message, what we are going. And kids are doing really amazing things.
Yeah.
So like freedom fighters, women empowerment perspective, there are floats that like mind-blowing floats, which are giving the really very great message to the society. And those are done by the really very young kids.
Fantastic. So it sounds like definitely it's about promoting, the fact that celebration is really about helping the world. Thank you, Rakesh ji. What about you, Sandeep ji? What is your, again, keep it to 30 seconds. What would you like?
Sure. Sure. Obviously, through your platform, through Lokvani, I would like to send a message to all the community members or beyond the community members to participate in these events, not only on these events, but future FIA events as well. This is an opportunity for everybody to contribute to the country, a country of where we're living and a country where we are born mostly. So
yeah, I like that. I will certainly, hopefully, the people who are watching this from other organizations will come forward and be part of this grand parade. So, Raji, what is your thoughts?
Yes, I'll just say very short that this kind of celebrations create a bond between US and India, and FIA New England is actually a team of volunteers which will work like people for the people.
Fantastic, fantastic. So that is really a fantastic thing that you're talking about, for the people, by the people. I think that's a very, very important point that you're making. Last final word over to the woman here, Dr. Rajul Gupta. What is your final thoughts on this?
I think come and join us in celebrating our great nation and our bond with America and make everybody happy and proud.
Fantastic. That's, I think, the final message here. So I look forward to this grand event, August 13th at, in Massachusetts, and August 14th at Rhode Island. And I think if they go to your website, which we will put a link to, I'm sure they can get the full details of this event. Thank you all for your time today. And I'm going to end this with a wonderful message that the great Minister Piyush Goyal ji gave to the governor. We will watch that, and we are going to end this interview. Thank you again, and we look forward to the beautiful freedom celebrations of all countries, as you said, tomorrow on August 13th. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
On the eve of India's Independence Day, a beautiful message from Mr. Piyush Ved Prakash Goyal, Honorable Cabinet Minister of the Government of India.
Friends, I'm indeed delighted to be a part of this historic event when you are celebrating India's 75th Independence Day. It's truly a matter of great joy for all of us in India that the Federation of Indian Associations, especially of the northeastern states of the United States of America, New England, New York, and New Jersey, and so many others, are organizing the world's largest and most historic International India Day Parade in the United States. My gratitude to the Governor of Massachusetts State, Mr. Charlie Baker, for proclaiming to celebrate 15th August as India Day in Massachusetts State.
For more information, reach Abhishek Singh, President of Federation of Indian Association, New England, at president@fianewengland.org.